never give up. It's just going to get better and better and better and better. And then you're going to be like, yo, why was I ever thinking about giving up?
People be talking a lot, I just noticed. They do not walk the talk, they be provoking. Say that they are a boss, I say they joking. I just be growing like it is meiosis. You don't got advantage cause your DNA status. Ballin' out March Madness. Head of my race like I'm POTUS. Since a kid I always knew I was chosen. Know that we smooth like it's lotion. We making waves that are bigger than oceans, We go crazy like psychosis, yeah. Got the drip like it's osmosis, yeah. No advantage from your DNA status. Ballin' out March Madness. Head of my race like I'm POTUS. Since a kid I always knew I was chosen.
Alright, more inspiration, guys.
Don't ever give up. You guys got this, no matter how hard it may get. You got this.
Hello guys, welcome back to Hustle House 24/7, 365 days a year. I am your host Cody Stockton, and today I'm just doing a solo episode to clear the air on the last episode that we had. The last episode was episode 14, and it was about adversity, growing through adversity, how we grew up and stuff like that. And apparently a lot of people took it wrong or are over-exaggerating some of the things that I said specifically about my experience growing up. So I just want to touch base and go ahead and clear the air with you guys. Apparently, people are hitting my brother up saying, I didn't know y'all had it that bad, and coming at him or something. I don't know. If you guys watch his Snapchat story, you guys can go on there and see that. But I just want to go ahead and go into depth. The other night, I wasn't on my A game as far as my mental clarity and stuff like that. I was tired. So I didn't really go into depth about everything. I just touched on a few points specifically about my life. Those points being that we grew up in government housing for part of our life. We had to live with our grandparents for part of our growing up life. I ate crowns and dog biscuits, and some of y'all probably think that I'm meant to survive. No, kids fucking eat crowns and shit that's laying around because they're kids and don't know what it is, and they just push it in their mouth. I'm sure many fucking parents out there know that kids fucking munch on crayons sometimes and shit like that. So it wasn't to survive or anything like that. So I just want to clear the air on that. Also, I grew up with food stamps for a little bit of the fucking time growing up. At least 4 years we had food stamps. I personally even had to have food stamps once I became an adult for like 2 years. And I'm not ashamed of anything I said on the other podcast, and I'm not ashamed of the way I grew up. The whole point of the last podcast was growing up through adversity. Our background story, because adversity is what builds character and turns people into stronger individuals mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and stuff like that. The whole point of the last podcast was not to say, oh my gosh, I had it bad, I'm a victim, my mom didn't do as much as she could, blah, 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 we grew up in a shitty situation. As I specifically made clear in that podcast, I am grateful for the experiences I went through because it made me who I am today. But not only that, I said we didn't have it that bad compared to most people. There's people in other countries who don't even have places to live. There's people in other countries who don't even have clean water. I've stated this on many podcasts before. They have to walk miles to get water that's not even clean, and hopefully it doesn't kill them. People grow up with parents who are fucking drug addicts and aren't there for them. People grow up in gangs and they become gang members immediately. Like, I don't know if some of you guys took it the wrong way because you just grew up in so much abundance, but living with some roaches and being on food stamps ain't that bad. That's all I got to say compared to for what people out here are actually dealing with. So I want to touch base on that, man, because people are fucking in inboxes. My mom watched it, and apparently people are just thinking I fucking am trying to degrade the whole situation of coming up, whatever. But I'm telling you guys my exact experience specifically for me. So I just want to start off with, first and foremost, my mom is amazing. She fucking did a great job raising my brother and I. And obviously we're fucking bosses. We have our own businesses. We travel. We do shit we want to do. We're making good money. You know what I'm saying? We're fucking strong, independent guys who fucking have a vision and goals and dreams and ambitions and stuff like that. We have morals, values, and beliefs. We don't degrade women. Like, we don't fucking talk shit about people or fuck. We're not shit people is pretty much what I'm getting at. And my mom taught me all of those morals. Yes, we grew up with a single mother household, but I saw my father every now and then, like I said in the last podcast, for maybe a week here and there, maybe a month out of the whole, every year, maybe a month out of the whole every other year, whatever. And yes, my dad and I didn't have a great relationship, and now we do. Now we have a really good relationship. He lives like literally 10 minutes away from me. My mom lives like 15 minutes away from me. I talk to my mom every day. I talk to my dad like every other day type shit. Talk to my grandparents every single day. I talk to my brother pretty much every day. But apparently you guys were in his inbox saying, oh my gosh, I didn't know you had it that bad. Like, you guys must have had it fucking bad. Like, you grew up in Chicago type shit. Like if you watch his fucking snap, you guys would have saw what he was talking about that. But apparently it fucking hurt feelings and stuff. Guys, at the end of the day, I don't care if I hurt your feelings. I'm going to tell the fucking truth, and I'm going to give my experience. And if y'all don't like that, so be it. I don't care. This is my podcast. This is Lamar's podcast. We're going to talk about what we want to talk about and our experiences and what made us who we are today, and how we think, and our visions and our goals and our plans for the future, and how we can help and provide value for as many people as possible. That's what this is about. As you guys can see, I'm a little passionate about this. I have a little bit of edge on me right now because I put that last podcast out because it was the truth, and I don't think there was anything wrong with it, and I still don't think there's anything wrong with it. But apparently you guys think that my mom fucking... Some people might think that my mom didn't try her hardest and stuff like that. I told y'all specifically, she was a single mom who had 2 kids out of the Navy. She had gallbladder problems. She went through cancer. We didn't have a lot of opportunity in the town we were in. My mom still hustled and grind. We had to do what we had to do. We had to have food stamps because we needed that shit to fucking survive some. We weren't on food stamps the whole time, but we had food stamps for a good amount of time. Like, that's just the fact of the matter. We grew up in a single wide trailer for part of our life. We grew up with our grandparents for part of our life. We grew up in fucking government housing for part of our life. Maybe it was income-based housing, but I know she didn't pay that much for that fucking housing, and there had fucking roach infested. It was roach infested, guys. That's just the truth of the matter, whether that sounds nasty, whether it sounds shitty, whatever. But obviously, I'm healthy. Obviously, I have a good mindset, a good head on my shoulders, and obviously, I'm doing good for myself. So we grew up pretty fucking well. You know what I'm saying? We had everything we needed. We didn't starve, as I stated in the last podcast. But I don't know where the confusion was. I guess people who grew up with everything they ever needed or everything they ever wanted think that being on food stamps or having roaches in your house is fucking some fucking third world country shit, guys. There's people who have it way worse than us in America. There's people who can't even fucking feed their kids. My mom busted her ass. She worked tons of jobs. She did everything she could. Sometimes things just didn't work out. And I don't think I made it sound like I was degrading or putting down the way I was raised or my mom or anything like that. I was just telling y'all exactly what happened. So I'm on this specific episode today, episode 15, just Cody here today, to just clear the air on all of those things and let y'all know, like, I don't regret the way I grew up because I'm doing everything I want to do right now. You know what I'm saying? It turned me into the person I am today. As a kid, I had fucking anger issues. My mom and I didn't have the best relationship, but we have a great relationship now. Like, I was fucked in the head as a kid as well. I didn't know how to think. I was growing up based on all these external circumstances, and I just don't understand where the confusion came from, pretty much, for the most part. I have a lot of friends who went through shit worse than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, way worse than me. But that doesn't mean I didn't go through adversity, and that doesn't mean it didn't build up, and I didn't learn anything from those specific things I went through. I got to see my dad, like I said, probably 1 month, I don't know, I was a kid, maybe like 1 month out of the whole year. We went up to Roanoke and stuff like that, saw him. Got to see my half-sister. She's my fucking sister. I love her. Kaylee, shout out to you. We have different moms, but she's my fucking sister. Let's be real. But, I mean, she didn't fucking see my dad all the time either. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how it fucking was growing up. I cuss a lot. I'm so sorry. But also, I keep things real, and I keep it organic and genuine. So I'm going to start from the beginning. So as a kid, we grew up in this single-wide trailer. All right, maybe it was a double wide, I don't know. It was in Alberta, Virginia, right next to my grandparents' house, and then my uncle lived right up the street. Had a little bit of land with like a pond and stuff like that. When we lived there, my mom was married to my old stepdad, and that was for X amount of years. I don't remember exactly how long that was. We went to that school that I told you guys about in Alberta on the last podcast, and you know, we lived in that town, Alberta/Lawrenceville, for until I was 12. Like, the first time we moved to Roanoke is when I moved in 5th grade or 6th grade. I think it was 5th grade because I went to Oak Grove in 5th grade. That's the first time I moved to Roanoke. And then I went to Hidden Valley for the whole part of 6th grade. And then after 6th grade, I moved back briefly to Virginia. I mean, sorry, not Virginia. Lawrenceville, Virginia. And then was there briefly, and then I came back to Roanoke, and then we had to go back there briefly, and then we came back to Roanoke in 9th grade. So it was like a back and forth thing, like twice, I do believe. I told y'all we got free lunch. We did until high school. In high school, we started paying like 50 cents or however much it was for like the discounted lunch or whatever. And we had a house on Bent Mountain because my mom wanted to give us a better life. That's why she brought us to Roanoke anyway, to get us out of the environment there, get us out of those circumstances, give us more of an opportunity, allow us to meet new people, have new experiences and stuff like that. And that's when we ended up coming to Roanoke. I lived after the Bent Mountain thing, because we lived in Garce Mill when I was in 5th and 6th grade, Oak Grove, Hidden Valley. Then we moved back to Lawrenceville, came back from Lawrenceville. That's when we went to Bent Mountain, lived up there for X amount of years or whatever. Then we moved back down there because things didn't work out up on Bent Mountain after we were there for X amount of time. And then we came back to Roanoke, lived with my dad's girlfriend and him for a small period of time. Like, I think it was 9th grade when we lived with them. Maybe it was 8th grade too. I think it was 8th and 9th. It was 8th and 9th grade. And then in 9th grade, we ended up moving into Cinnamon Ridge with my mom when she ended up coming back up here to Roanoke. But guys, I told y'all, like, my mom fucking busted her ass and she had health problems. She went through cancer. She had gallbladder problems. She had back problems from the Navy, but that's about it as far as the Navy's concerned. She had an honorable discharge and everything like that. But the main thing was, like, she had to bust her ass so much because there just wasn't that much opportunity where we were living. Like, there just wasn't that much good work. You know what I'm saying? So she had to fucking work her ass off to make shit happen. And at a few points in our life, she didn't make enough to, well, she made under the amount to where you could actually get food stamps and stuff like that. So that's why I mentioned that. But guys, like, people go through that. The amount of people that fucking go through shit like that is unlimited. Like, America's full of people like that. That's nothing. It's nothing compared to fucking other people in other countries, people with gangs, parents with drugs, alcoholism, and stuff like that. People who don't even have fucking parents and are raised by other family members and stuff like that. So if y'all were my brother's inbox, fuck off, man. Y'all don't know shit. Not only that, if you grew up with abundance and you're fucking upset when your internet goes out for a fucking day or two or whatever. We didn't grow up with internet and cable. We had the fucking antenna thing on the TV and we watched that shit. So some people don't even got phones or TV. So I don't even want to hear y'all bitching. For my brother's inbox being talking shit or whatever, fuck you, get out of here. I don't know the whole circumstance on his end. I just watched a Snapchat story, but apparently there was confusion and apparently I came off rude or degrading and I wasn't specifically saying things properly or something like that. But guys, that's my truth. That's what happened. That's what I experienced. And just because you live in the same household doesn't mean that your truth, like, your experience is going to be the same. Like, you have your own brain, I have my brain. My brother and I saw things differently. Chris had a better relationship with my mom than I had a relationship with my mom. Like I said, we have a great relationship now. I love my mom. I love my fucking dad. I love my grandparents. But we don't all have the same outlook on life and the same perspective. So that's something that y'all need to keep into account and think about as well. But I mean, yeah, I mean, there's not really much to say. Like, I don't know why I have to even come on here and make a whole new fucking episode about these things. And I mean, if it fucking offended you, I don't care at the end of the day. I really don't, because I'm on here just trying to spread positivity, speak about my life. The whole point of that last podcast was to, like I said at the beginning of this one, is to show you that adversity builds you into a bigger and better person if you use it as fuel to succeed and progress yourself. Some people use their adversity to have a victim mentality and say life's out to get me. Oh, I guess this is just how it is. These are my cards. This is all I can do with them. But no, Chris and I didn't do that. We said, hey, this is what we went through, and it gave us a perspective on life that other people may not have. So we're going to use it to our advantage to progress and do better and learn from. And I don't think the same way I thought as a kid. I don't have the same outlook, the same perspective. I don't have anger issues anymore. Like, as a kid, no one could tell me nothing. Like, I was just full of negative energy, mad at everything. I went to counseling multiple times, anger management and stuff like that. I got beat up in 3rd grade because I like used to bully people. Like, I think it was Head Start or something. Like, I got in trouble for like pushing a kid down the slide or something. Like, I was fucking just full of anger because I was a victim mentality. Even if you're a kid and you don't understand those things, like, you can still have that perspective on life and thinks everyone's out to get you and stuff. That's why you have all these hellions running around these days. And also, I didn't make it any easier on my mom. I'm not going to fucking front with y'all. Like, I was an assholic kid. I was a hellion. I say that. I've been saying that since I grew up and became an adult. I told her that multiple times. I told Chris that multiple times. And I learned from those things, and that's why it helped me find balance and more peace with where I am right now. But yeah, guys, like, we didn't fucking live under a bridge. Like, we got evicted. Yes, we got evicted at least, I think it was 1 or 2 times. We definitely got evicted from Bent Mountain. Like, the guy we used to rent from up there, he was kind of an asshole, though. Like, we paid our rent all on time almost every time, and then we missed, like, I think it was like 1 or 2 times, and he was, like, getting really assholic about it and stuff like that, and we had no other option, so our grandparents hooked us up. They helped us out. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with doing what you got to do to get where you got to go, as long as you're not stepping on nobody's toes, and you're not doing anything negative to nobody and getting in the way of them building their empire or whatever it may be, or getting in the way of their positive mindset or their family, whatever it may be. There's nothing wrong with doing what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? If you got to go on food stamps, you got to survive, man. You know what I'm saying? And we weren't on food stamps the whole time. Some of y'all took it as if, like, we grew up on food stamps the whole time. But when I say it saved us, it literally did, guys. There was times when we had to go to the food bank. Whether my mom or Chris or anybody wants me to say that on camera, it's my experience. It's my truth. It's what happened. I'm not going to front. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to have an outlook on it, have your own outlook. But I know exactly what happened with the experience that I lived in. That's just the fact of the matter. Our church had to help us out sometimes. We didn't always fucking have the money for everything. We had to fucking, if we wanted shit, we had to make it happen on our own. Chris and I used to clean out this church gutter beside my grandparents' house, work for guys around the neighborhood. Like I said, we worked for Ralph. I was a little harsh on Ralph. He was cool, but he was a manipulator, so that's why I kept it real. You know what I'm saying? I keep it real, man. I'm a fucking grown-ass man. I'm 25 years old. I'm not going to front with nobody. Whether it hurts your feelings or not, I don't care, man, because at the end of the day, I'm going to do me, and I'm going to speak my truth based on the reality of the situation that I was in personally. But Chris and I have always been hustlers, man. We want to make shit happen. That's why we fucking own businesses. That's why we're so freaking focused. That's why we don't get distracted by many things. That's why we keep our friend group really small and stuff like that. You gotta do what you gotta do. But we didn't starve. We always had food. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was food stamps, food bank, my mom had jobs at times where she couldn't even get food stamps, so she was able to provide food with us. Maybe it wasn't as much as we would want, but who cares? You know what I'm saying? Our grandparents had our back. My mom did everything she could. My dad helped out as much as he could for the mindset he was in at that time. And now, like I said, we have a great relationship now. I talk to him every single week. And there's no animosity towards any of my family. There's no animosity towards my dad. There's no animosity towards my mom or anything like that. Shit happens. It's called life. We fucking look at it. We pick up and keep moving forward, and we keep a positive mindset, and we use it as fuel. That's what at least I think you should do. That's what I do. I don't get offended easily. I don't care what people think at the end of the day about what I'm doing or my experience, because I'm going to do what I do. I'm Cody Stockton, and Cody Stockton controls Cody Stockton. You know what I'm saying? Your opinion doesn't matter to me. You know what I'm not saying your opinion doesn't matter, but your opinion about my life and what you think you know about me doesn't matter to me, because it's my life, it's my experience. You didn't live it. And my brother was like, yo, you made it sound like we were fucking like super poor and stuff like that. I didn't make it sound like that, in my opinion. That's why I put the podcast out. I'm not on here fronting about nothing. Like we had food stamps. We lived in government / income-based housing for like at least 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Our church had to help us out. We had to go to the food bank sometimes. My mom didn't have the best jobs because there wasn't that much opportunity, but she busted her ass and did everything she could to make sure we had as much opportunity as possible. She tried multiple times to put us in a better position, and she eventually succeeded when we moved up to Roanoke for the final time in Cinnamon Ridge to graduate with Cave Spring and stuff like that, make great people. And also I did leave out that Tammy, Halsey, Daniel Halsey, Mike Tate, Aaron, all you guys, I love y'all so much, man. Y'all helped us out. You know what I'm saying? Great people. They helped us out when my mom needed help. Church Alive International helped us out. Justin Miller, badass motherfucker, boss, Debbie, Jeff, Evan, I love you guys to death, man. Like, y'all have done so much for us, but I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate everything you guys let me do and helped us with. Like, I lived with Justin for a little bit. We lived with Tammy and Mike and Aaron for a little bit. And it's because people saw that we needed help with some certain things, and there's nothing wrong with that, so they decided to help, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And look where we are now. I'm traveling. I'm meeting famous people all the time. I'm building brands. I have a content. I have TikTok. I have a podcast. I own a business. Like, all those things had to take place to put me into the position I am right now. So I think some of you guys might have taken it the wrong way. Whether even maybe some of my family might have taken it the wrong way. But the whole point of like I keep repeating, I know I sound like a rat wheel spinning record type of thing right now, but the whole thing, man, is that the adversity, whether it was as bad as it could be or barely any, gave us the opportunity to have a different mindset and a different perspective and use it as fuel to become the people we are now. That was the point. The whole podcast was based on that specific point. That's why the title is Growing Up Through Adversity, Our Life Story, and we have motivation and drive. If any of y'all read the description, you'll see that I said the situations we were in gave us the motivation and drive to get us to where we are now. If you took anything about the dog biscuits and crowns literally as far as me trying to survive off of that, that's not true. I was a kid. I put shit in my mouth because I didn't know what it was, and it was colorful. So I thought it tastes good. So I tried crowns sometimes. The dog biscuit thing, we were just kids and used to sneak dog biscuits. It's not because we were trying to survive. I'm not saying any of you guys said that, but I'm just throwing that out there since there was confusion about other things that I thought I made very clear. And I don't want you guys like feel like I'm coming at anybody or being mad or anything like that, but I feel like people are sensitive sometimes and take things the wrong way. At the end of the day, everyone has their own experience based on their mindset and their perception of how the world is. But yeah, guys, like, I'm here. I'm healthy. I feel great. I have a positive mindset. I'm doing the things I want to do. I'm meeting the people I want to meet. I'm helping other people eat. I'm bringing all my friends up with me and as many people as possible. And I'm doing shit, dog. So that's pretty much it, man. Like, just to sum everything up, just to go a little bit more in depth and touch up a little bit more on those things. Again, last podcast, I was not fully mentally there. So that could be where some of the confusion kind of was thrown off with certain things that I was saying. I didn't go as into detail and explain it specifically and have a follow-up point of the reasoning for it or anything like that. Yes, I brought a roach to school one day. Because we had roaches in our house, one crawled in my bag, and it happened to go to when I went to school with my backpack, it came out of my backpack. People laughed at me. Big fucking deal. Other people that the school had fucking roaches too. That whole fucking town was kind of, it's like that town, the budget of the town, the budget of the city, the opportunity there was pretty much the same for everybody. The internet wasn't what it is today. I mean, obviously if you had a degree and stuff like that back then, you might have different opportunity and stuff like that. And also my mom has college degrees. My mom has nutrition stuff. She's an artist. Like she's a badass. You know what I'm saying? So, but everyone, it wasn't weird. Like a lot of people in that town had kind of some of the same experiences. That's just how it happened. I have a buddy named Ante who used to live in the same apartments. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. We were happy kids. We had a bike crew. We used to ride around. We always had food. We always had water. Our grandparents helped us out. My mom did everything in her fucking power to make sure we had as much opportunity as possible. And it's as simple as that. And I just want to get that clear. And that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any other questions, just hit me up directly. You know, stop getting in my brother's DMs. Leave him alone. He's got shit he's got to do. And at the end of the day, it's none of y'all's business, like the details we don't want to share with y'all or anything like that, or what y'all think is or what y'all think isn't. What I'm telling y'all is what happened in my personal experience, and I'm putting it out here because it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Whether you like it or not, whether it's offensive or not, whether people think it's horrible adversity or not, which it isn't. It really isn't, guys. Like, I know families who had fucking 8 people live in one house. You know what I'm saying? I know people who used to get abused by their fucking stepdads and couldn't pay their fucking bills in that town. I have best friends that I talk to from, like, till today that went through worse shit than I did, and they're doing just fine. That's the whole point of the whole thing. Whatever you go through, use it as fuel to become better. Propel yourself, show people a different perspective they may not have, and bring as many people up as possible. That's literally all it is. So with that being said, this is episode 15 of the Hustle House 24/7 365 podcast. My name is Cody, aka Various Layers. Follow me on all platforms as always. And guys, if your internet goes out for a day, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. We didn't have it bad. We're good. So have a great day. Peace out.